it's difficult to pinpoint just one moment where I've been most proud of my students. Um, just having a student nominate me for this award was a moment of great pride for me in that that showed me that even when I may not realize it, I'm actually making some kind of positive impact on my students. Um, what makes me most proud as a teacher in general, however, is when I have a student or a group of students who are trying to accomplish something that's difficult. Maybe they think that they just aren't able to do it, and we, come up with, we collaborate in our work together in finding ways to help them achieve what they might think to have been impossible. And it's really interesting when you see the look on their face when they finally achieve that challenge, be it, figuring out a different way to work with their voice to make it do different things, or working on a really hard song or a piece of choral music or something like that. When they finally achieve that, and seeing that it just changes their level of confidence and the way they carry themselves and their posture, and it's visible in their very being, and that's extremely rewarding because that's when the real magic begins. For me, I think one of the biggest challenges that I have found in working with my students is that they often, due to their age and lack of experience, want some kind of instant gratification that sometimes doesn't really come without having done the work. And I'm lucky enough to have a group of students that is a part that are a part of an ensemble that has been around for, this is our 55th season. So it's deeply entrenched in history, and they take that very seriously. And so I think they have an understanding of how much responsibility they have to push forward and put their best work and best effort into the work that we do. When I was in school, I had some great directors, but they often yelled a lot, and that was modeled to me. And when I first started teaching, I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and I did that. And then I realized that it's just not necessary. And students actually, if you treat them like people, like equally talented people, that they will have more buy-in to what it is that you're attempting to do with them in terms of the work, and they will be more dedicated to that, and the work will become easier, and you'll make much more progress a lot quicker, and it's much more rewarding for everyone. And what we do is really a people. I don't want to call it a business, but it's the people business, for lack of a better term. It's working with young people and modeling for them how it is that you're supposed to work, how they should be working with people when they go out into the real world. And so, getting them to understand how important our work is, and how important it is that we are able to work together and get along no matter what our differences are. And my students come from a very diverse background because they come from different high schools with different experiences, and so then it's melding all of those different choral experiences and personal experiences together into the fabric of one ensemble. And so if we can figure out how to work together in a peaceful and meaningful way, it makes our performances much more authentic and more meaningful for the audience as well as to the performer. In terms of innovation, I try to do as much as I can to challenge my students in every way possible, be it from giving them different kinds of repertoire to perform. We are a pop music ensemble. That is our main focus. But we do all types of music, from music from the Renaissance and Baroque period all the way through the Classic and Romantic period, up in through what we would consider modern music. And we have done things with full orchestra before. We have just done all kinds of different things. I don't want to say, I guess I don't find that it's particularly innovative, but in the context of what it is that our main focus is, I think the innovation is challenging them to meet the challenges of this varied repertoire of music, and where we go and do our performances. We've traveled all over the world and experienced different cultures, and had choral exchange concerts. We just did one in England with a group called the Funky Voices, which is a very well-known community-based pop music organization, and it was very, very rewarding. Another thing about our ensemble is that it's student run, in that we have company manager and two different company managers. We have a band manager, a wardrobe supervisor, a head sound technician, and we have a live sound tech team. And it is like an on-the-road show. And so our students get that taste of what that experience is like if they want to go out and go to New York and get a role on Broadway, audition for that kind of stuff, or if they want to be in a traveling Broadway musical like Kinky Boots or something like that, they get what we offer them is that kind of unique experience, so that they understand what that might be like in the real world. We just offer it in miniature. Sometimes we're only out for a day or two. Sometimes, when we travel around the world, like we just did to England, we were gone for more than a week, and so they got quite a diverse experience out of that. And the with the other things that we do in our regular sort of day-to-day kind of operation. One of the things that I try to do to make a positive impact as a teacher is that I make a great effort to stay in touch with my former students, especially those who are out teaching now, so that we maintain a connection with them as an alumnus of the organization, but also I'm able to maintain a connection with them as possibly a mentor for them when they're, especially in their first year of teaching. I love going to their schools and seeing them in action and getting to hear their students perform and sing and whatnot, and support them in that way, offer them encouragement and advice. Sometimes they'll ask me to work with their students, and I know that makes them a little bit nervous, but it's just an absolute thrill for me to get to do that, because I'm just continually impressed by what my students accomplish when they go out into the world, and it's always been extremely rewarding to see, even if they're not music students or music teachers, just to see what, how they were in high school, how they've changed, how they've grown, and what they've become, and where they're headed. It's, it's always one of those things. Having that experience is an illuminating moment for me, because it helps me understand what I do well as a teacher, and then have a better understanding of maybe the things that I might have missed with them that I could focus on and do better with my current and future students.